Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Mustache MMA. Welcome to Parlay Plays, Episode 7, UFC 272, Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. I'm going to create a couple different variations of parlays, two per variation. So the variations are even money parlays, anywhere from about even money to plus 200. I throw one unit on those parlays. Juicy parlays, anywhere from plus 300 to plus 800. I throw half units on those parlays, and then long shot parlays are 1,000 odds of 1,000 or plus 1,000 or more, and I throw quarter units on those guys. So yeah, I'm gonna have two parlays per variation. Let's go ahead and get into it. Before I actually get into it, I'm going to go ahead and share my results from last week's card. So I hit 2 of 6 of the parlays, 2 wins, 4 losses, 3.5 units in total. Every card will have 3.5 units played, but I returned 5.33, so I have a net of plus 1.83 units for that card for those parlays. Zooming out here a little bit, and then we can just kind of scroll up to my overall results here. So as you can see, I am 13 of 23 for my 2022 record for this year, and then in February was 9 for 15. So not too bad. Nine wins, 15 losses. So 2022 record was 13 wins, 23 losses. And then as you can see over here, my units played, 24.5 units played, and 36.88 units returned for the year. So I'm up 12.38 units on the year for my parlays. Very, very solid performance so far. I believe I've only had one negative card for these parlays. And then the February results you can see have been really good as well. As February has closed, we played 14 units, returned 22.31 for a net of positive 8.31 units. Can't talk today. So yeah, really good performances so far. Good performances in February. Good way to start off the year, up 12 units on these parlays. I can go into the specific parlays from last week as well. So 2 for 2 on the even money parlays, and then 0 for 2 on juicy parlays, 0 for 2 for long shot. So yeah, Brahima inside the distance, Saruki and KO, TKO or decision. That one hits. Kim Cachoeira fight goes the distance. Perez Martinez fight goes the distance. That also hits. And then these other parlays here, at least one of the legs is a loser. So this one here, Hernandez decision hits, but Makhachev sub does not. Nunez money line and under 1.5, Serkinov money line and over 1.5. Both of those legs are losers. McKinney decision, Petrosian KO TKO. Both those legs are losers. Brahima KO TKO, Nunez TKO TKO first or second. Both of those are losers as well. But yeah, good performance last week, staying positive, and going to roll with it through this week. So let's get into it. UFC 272 parlays. Even money parlays. Let's start with these guys. First parlay is going to be Covington money line and over 2.5. That's the first leg. Second leg, Rodriguez money line and over 1.5. It's going to come out to plus 140 over on DraftKings. Really like Covington in this spot. He has a huge wrestling advantage. I think that's going to be essentially the game plan here. He's just going to essentially wrestle Masvidal consistently, pressure, pace. Striking's pretty good too, although he has to be really cautious of that power of Masvidal. But I don't see Masvidal being able to land those shots. Covington is gonna kind of play it safe, play on the outside, use strikes at range, go in and out, and then work in the wrestling as well. So I definitely expect him to probably get the decision win. But if he doesn't, we do have a little leeway in case he gets a later finish. So Covington money line and over 2.5 is the first leg. Second leg, Rodriguez money line and over 1.5. Again, I really favor Rodriguez here. I expect this one to stay on the feet for the majority of the fight, although she could mix up the wrestling potentially, but Rodriguez does show pretty good takedown defense. I think Rodriguez's stand-up is better. I think she has the best stand-up in the division. She's fought better competition. Jan, she's tough. She can take hits. I expect Rodriguez to probably get a decision here. But again, we do have a little leeway with the over 1.5 in case she gets a late finish. So again, recapping that, even money parlay, Covington money line and over 2.5, paired with Rodriguez money line and over 1.5 at plus 140 over on DraftKings. Moving on to the second even money parlay, I've got Holland KO TKO or decision, paired with Dos Anjos KO/TKO or decision. This comes out to plus 176 over on FanDuel. So starting with the first leg, Holland KO TKO or decision. I think it's very unlikely. We can kind of rule out the submission by Holland. I mean, he has been working on his jiu-jitsu game pretty good, and his opponent has lost his last few fights to decision in Alex Oliveira. However, I just don't think Holland's grappling is that great. Yes, it's improving, but I still don't think it's good enough to probably get the submission, unless it's like a club and sub type thing. But even if Holland kind of gets him hurt, he tends to just kind of punch away, not necessarily look for a submission, unless he's trying to like prove a point something, or something like that, where he's going to go out and try to get the submission. But I don't see it happening. Obviously, I favor Holland significantly in the stand-up against Oliveira. Going to be much longer than him, having over 5-inch reach advantage. Power is going to be there. Technicality is going to be there. We just got to hope that Oliveira can't get him down, Holland. Although, again, Holland's been working on the wrestling. He's been working on the get-up game. So, yeah, I expect Holland to – I don't know if he's going to get a decision or knockout, but I definitely am very, very confident that he's going to win, and he's going to win by either of those outcomes. I just don't see a sub. And I can't see Oliveira winning this. But who knows? Holland coming down weight class, first fight at welterweight could be an issue. But again, I don't think so. Moving on to the second leg, Dos Anjos, KO, TKO, or decision. Same thing here, kind of going up against Renato Moicano. Renato Moicano on like 4 or 5 days notice. He fought 3 weeks ago. Didn't take too much damage, but yeah, Dos Anjos, I mean, really great cardio. He has pretty good striking. He's really well-rounded. Really good, pretty good striking, pretty good wrestling, and then good grappling as well. Moicano, high-level grappler for sure. Striking is pretty good. I think I give Dos Anjos the edge on the striking game. And then wrestling, Moicano's wrestling is okay. I mean, sometimes he has really good timing with his takedowns, but other than that, I don't think his wrestling is all that impressive. So I do really favor Dos Anjos here to probably get the victory. I do like him to probably get the decision, but we do have the KO TKO in there just in case, because Moicano has shown to be a little bit chinny in the past. Although he has only really been knocked out by high-level strikers, Jose Aldo, Chang Young Sung, Rafael Fiziev. So it'll be interesting to see if Dos Anjos can actually get him down. But rolling out, I think we can pretty confidently rule out the submission. Moicano has a really, really good submission game, both offensively and defensively, only being submitted once by Brian Ortega. He just got caught in a guillotine. And Ortega has a very, very good grappling. So I don't see it. Again, there's a slim chance, but I don't see that happening. I like Dos Anjos here to get KO, TKO, or decision. Moicano on short notice. I just don't see it. It could happen, but I don't see it. So again, recapping that even money parlay: Holland by KO, TKO, or decision. Dos Anjos by KO, TKO, or decision, plus 176 over on FanDuel. Moving on to Juicy Parlays. These are anywhere from plus 300 to plus 800, half units on these guys. So this one's a little 3-leg parlay. I don't usually do 3-leg parlays, but that's about the max amount of legs that I'll ever do on my parlays. I don't like putting like 6-leg parlays in there. I think that's stupid. But anyway, so 3-leg parlay here. We have Jacoby and Oleksichuk. Fight goes the distance. Ulanbekov, Elliott, fight goes the distance. Agapova, Morozov, fight goes the distance. So 3 fights to go the distance. That comes out to plus 538 over on DraftKings. So breaking down the first leg, Jacoby and Michael Lowe, I'm just going to call him, fight goes the distance. Jacoby, really, really durable, man. Never really finished in his MMA career, only once, and it was due to ground and pound. Glory Kickboxing, I believe he's only been finished once or twice. One was due to being knocked down too many times, and one was to Alex Pereira, who is a elite kickboxer. He's actually fighting soon again in the UFC coming up, but he has very good power as well. So super tough. Michael O only being knocked out once in his career as well, but it was early in his career. He hasn't been knocked out since. So 2 super tough guys. Michael O, really good striking defense. It seems like he's able to really avoid those big shots. He has good kind of like herky-jerky movement, if you will. He's kind of awkward with his movement, so he's hard to kind of pinpoint and actually land those strikes. Jacoby, he is pretty hittable on the feet, but again, he's pretty durable. Michael O does have some power, though, so there is a possibility Michael O clips him and maybe gets a knockout. But I don't see Jacoby getting a knockout on Michael O. I see a slim chance of Michael O getting a knockout on Jacoby. These guys don't wrestle, they don't grapple. No submissions probably going to be there. So I do favor a decision in that fight. Moving on to Ulanbekov versus Elliott. Both these guys, really good grappler, or, Ulanbekov, good grappler, good wrestler. Elliott, good grappler and wrestler in his own right as well. Definitely has the abilities to probably go head-to-head with Ulanbekov here. Both their strikings are all right. Maybe actually favor Elliott a little bit because of his pace pressure that he puts on. But Ulanbekov, his last couple times out, I believe he has gone to decision. I don't know if he's ever gotten a finish. Let me see if I get Tabology up really quick, so I don't want to speak out of tongue here. Sorry, folks. Come on. All right. So Ulanbekov, yeah, his 2 fights in the UFC have both gone the distance. Has yet to finish anyone in the UFC. His last fight, going to a split decision to Nasimenko, a very close fight. Tim Elliott, his last couple wins have also gone by decision. His last 2 wins, Jordan Espinosa and Ryan Benoit. And then his very most recent fight, the Mateus Nikolai, also has gone to decision. So these guys have been decision machines as of late. The only one to finish Elliott as of recent was Royval and Figueiredo. Figueiredo, obviously the champ, and Royval gunning for the champ. Also Royval being known to be a finisher as well. So again, these guys are both decision machines. I think their skills match up nicely with each other in terms of their wrestling and their grappling. They're going to be able to kind of handle each other easily. And I do like that fight to also go the distance. Last one being Maria Agapova and Morozov. This one I also like fight goes the distance. Reason being, Maria Agapova, she's actually been like kind of a finisher. She's had a lot of finishes in her career, by strikes, by rear naked chokes, some club and sub type things like she got in her last one against Sabina Mazo. But Morozov is really tough. Morozov's never been finished in her career. She has only lost 3 times, and all 3 times have been by decision. A couple of those fighters to be Angel Hill and Carla Esparza, so some pretty top level opponents. Also going the distance with Mara Bueno Silva, who is a really good striker. She has really good power, so she's able to take some of those power shots. So I don't think Maria Agapova is going to be able to take her out. Agapova probably going to want to be standing this whole time. I think she has the edge in striking. But Morozov does have some striking in her as well, just not as accurate as you would like. Morozov does have pretty good top control, so if she's able to get Agapova to the ground, I think she can keep her there for a while. And, that could be a potential route where we could see a submission from Morozov, but I don't think it's going to happen. Agapova never been submitted in her career. She's only been finished once, and that's due to her just completely gassing out. Her other loss was via decision from Tracy Cortez. So also fighting a good opponent and not a bad loss to have on your resume at all. I like all three legs here to fight for Fight Goes the Distance. So I'll recap that Juicy Parlay again. Jacoby Michael O, Fight Goes the Distance. Umbekov Elliott, Fight Goes the Distance. Agapova Morozov, Fight Goes the Distance. Plus 538 over on DraftKings. Lock that in, baby. Second Juicy Parlay, I got Holland Oliveira, Fight Goes the Distance, and I got Mitchell by decision. This comes out to plus 716 over on FanDuel. So Holland Oliveira, Fight Goes the Distance. I know I said before I wasn't entirely sure what Holland would be able to do, whether it be KO, TKO, or decision. Obviously, that is the safer play because those are his two best routes to victory. The submission you can essentially toss out. But this way, Holland, I don't mind. Oliveira, I don't think he's going to be able to finish Holland. So if Oliveira does become successful with the wrestling, with the grappling, and he gets a lot of top control time, wins 2 rounds, his best path to victory is probably a decision. On the Holland side, he's going up against Oliveira, only knocked out once in his entire career. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing in there. Granted, Holland knocked out Jacare Souza, but it was kind of from a weird, awkward position. But yeah, I expect Oliveira to go in the clinch a lot here, wrestle a lot. So I don't think Holland's going to have as much opportunity to strike as he would like, and I think that may hinder his cardio a little bit and his ability to get the finish in the later rounds. I'm going to wear on him. So I like Holland Oliveira if I goes the distance. I think that is a pretty good leg. I believe that plus money individually, I like plus 140. So I like it as a good leg in a parlay. Second leg here, Mitchell by decision. This one I definitely pondered on for a while. I was between Mitchell by decision and Barboza by KO TKO. But I ended up going Mitchell by decision. Reason being, obviously, we know Bryce Mitchell, super good wrestler, crazy pace, sticks to you like glue, great cardio. So Barboza in the past has really struggled with high-paced wrestlers and fighters who like to wrestle a lot. Granted, this was up at lightweight. Now we're down at featherweight, so we're dealing with some lighter guys here. And Barboza was also dealing with some elite wrestlers. Not that Mitchell isn't elite. He definitely is. But we're talking the likes of Khabib and, Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee was very good during that time frame when Barboza took an L to him. Mitchell by decision, I think it's the best way. I don't see him getting a sub on Barboza. Definitely not a knockout. Mitchell's striking isn't good, so he just has to essentially stick to Barboza like glue for 15 minutes, not let Barboza get any significant, big significant strikes on him and powerful strikes, and just relentlessly take this guy down over and over again and get some ground control time. I think he can do it. The only thing that scares me a little bit is Mitchell sometimes isn't too active on the ground. I've seen rounds before where he gets a takedown and he just kind of, I wouldn't say stalls, but doesn't do much down there. And then I've also seen other rounds where he throws in a lot of ground and pound, a lot of work. But again, I like Mitchell here to really glue to hit Barboza, get a lot of takedowns, get a lot of ground control time. And Barboza, I feel like, is going to be able to give that up, not easily, but, good enough for Mitchell to get those takedowns, get that control time, and lose a decision. So again, that juicy parlay, Holland Oliveira, fight goes the distance. Mitchell by decision comes at the plus 716 over on FanDuel. Moving on to the long shot parlays. So both these ones I got probably a little too greedy with, but nevertheless, let's get into them. So first, long shot parlay, I got Klein by KO TKO in the second or the third round. And then the second leg is Hardy by KO TKO in the first or the second round. This comes out to plus 3,140 on FanDuel. So again, a little crazy with the odds, but I think both these plays are pretty solid percent chance to hit for what they are priced at least. So Klein KO TKO in the second or the third round. We all know Devontae Smith. He always looks super crisp, super fast in the first round. Looks really good. But after that, he slows. He doesn't necessarily gas, but he definitely slows. He doesn't look as good. He doesn't look as crisp. He's more open to being hit. So I like Klein to probably withstand that first round attack that Devontae Smith is going to throw at him. And then Klein is going to come on the attack in the second and the third, maybe even mix in some wrestling, tire him out a little bit, even more, and eventually get that finish. Klein has pretty good striking. He's really technical. As long as the pace isn't pushed on him, he can really work, and he can work well. So obviously, Klein's not going to do good in the first because Smith's going to put on that pressure on him. But once Smith declines, he's not going to. His cardio kind of goes a little bit and fades. He's not going to be able to put on that pressure that he did in the first. Klein's going to start to take over, and Klein's probably going to get that finish. So I like that. I like that as my first leg. Second leg, Hardy by KO TKO, first or second round. This one's a little bit tougher because it's I almost feel like it's 50-50. So Hardy obviously going up against Sergey Spivak. He has the striking advantage. He has the power advantage. I think he has a good shot of putting out Sergey Spivak, and Hardy's only good for about 8 minutes. So once we get past that 7-8 minute mark, the KO's out the window. That's why I didn't do just a straight up KO. I did first and second. I think it's very unlikely Hardy gets a third round knockout. I think by that point he's done. So Hardy has pretty good takedown defense. So, I like him to initially stuff maybe some of those takedowns that Sergey Spivak may throw at him. And if Spivak gets it to the ground, it may be over because we've seen Hardy go down before and knock it back up and just get pounded away and lose. But Hardy, he's got really good power, really good striking. He really hurt Tai Tuivasa the last fight and just got a little too aggressive and went in for the kill and got clipped himself. I just think Hardy is really live for that first round and the beginning of the second round to really be able to get this victory here. And I don't think Sergey Spivak's striking is good enough to really gain any respect from Hardy. And I think Hardy's just going to kind of slowly plot forward, be aware of the takedowns, and just start throwing away. One's going to eventually land. It's going to hurt Spivak. Hardy's going to go in for the kill. So, yeah. Recapping that long shot parlay, Klein by KO TKO in the second or third round. Hardy by KO TKO in the first or the second round. Comes out to plus 3,140 over on FanDuel. Last parlay and last long shot parlay of the day. I've got Tim Elliott by decision and Jamie Malarkey by decision. Comes out to plus 3,200 over on DraftKings. Another high odds one, but again, I don't mind the odds here of both of these hitting. Elliott by decision, man. I mean, Ulanbekov had a really close fight with Nasimenko his last time out. Elliott's a really awkward style to fight. He's just kind of weird with his stance and how he shoots for takedowns, how he grapples, how he wrestles. All of it's awkward. All of it's weird. It may be challenging for Ulanbekov to kind of, compare with that. So yeah, and Elliott, he always puts on a high pace, high pressure, tends to really usually win first rounds in his fights. So he just has to sneak in, another round or even a close round for maybe him to squeeze out a decision victory. I don't mind that leg at all. Jamie Malarkey by decision. Him and Jalen Turner, a lot of people expecting a finish in this one, which makes sense. Both these guys are definitely finishers, but I think there's going to be a lot more wrestling and grappling involved in this fight than a lot of people are thinking. Jalen Turner, his fight with Matt Frevola really should open the eyes of everyone in this division. Okay, Jalen Turner, this is how you beat this guy. You relentlessly wrestle him. Malarkey does have pretty good wrestling. He's able to use that and, gain a lot of top control time as long as he's not too relaxed when he is on top. Or not relaxed, I'm blanking on the words, but as long as he's not too, all over the place, quickly trying to transition over and over, he's going to be fine. Reason being, Jalen Turner is pretty good jiu-jitsu. He could throw something up and get caught, or he could even lose position. We've seen that before in some other fights. But yeah, Jamie Malarkey, I think he has the striking to keep up with Jalen Turner as well. I think he's going to mix in the wrestling. He tends to mix in the wrestling pretty well with his fights. So yeah, I just think a Jamie Malarkey decision victory is pretty live here, and I think the odds are good. So again, recapping that one, Elliott by decision, Malarkey by decision, plus 3,200 over on DraftKings. So that's about it, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button. If you got any parlays that you're playing for this card, or if you like any of my parlays or you're going to fade any of my parlays, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you for watching. Take it easy.